every day on my way up to the workshop. I can guarantee there's one place where someone always tries to cut me up. But it's not just that. I do a lot of driving. So I'm thinking maybe it's time to get a dash cam to protect me in case the worst thing happens. So today we're going to fit Amazon's best-selling dash cam to the car. Up the barn, it's time to get started, and we're going to fit the Redtiger F17 Elite dash cam. As I said, this is Amazon's #1 best-selling dash cam. So let's see what's in the box. You've got the main unit itself, a 128GB memory card. You've got the rear view camera to go in your back window. You've got a box with your power supply cable and a trim tool to help you hide your wires. You also have your rear camera cable, some cable clips and some self-adhesive pads. And of course, not to forget the instructions. I also have the hardwire kit, which is going to allow me to hardwire it into the vehicle so I can use the parking monitor mode. When you say hardwire, it sounds really intimidating, but it actually is pretty straightforward because in the hardwire kit, it comes with these sort of piggyback fuses. So all you need to do is you just push these two connectors together and slide the insulating cover back over. You do that for your switch and then again for your live. And with that done, we need to go into the fuse box of the car. We need to find a earth point to be able to plug that into. And then we've got the permanent live piggyback adapter. So we need to find a permanently live fuse to pop that in, and then we can replace the fuse in there. And we need to do the same again for a switch. Now, you can either look at your fuse box diagram and work out what it is, or just use a multimeter to probe it. That's what I did, and now I know absolutely that I'm looking at my switch and my live feed. In here, we can see that we've got the two adapters connected, and then we can just put this fuse box back together. I've used the earth behind the dash. I haven't shown too much on the install because obviously every car is different. So you've got to work out which trim panel is best for you to hide the wires behind and which fuses you need to tap into. And with it installed, let's have a look and see what it looks like. Installation took really no more than 2 hours and it's nice and straightforward. But like I said, each car is different. Some might take a little bit longer, some might take a little bit less. It really depends on how familiar you are with some of the trim clips or whether or not you've got enough space just to tuck the wires between them. And with it installed, let's have a look at the cameras. So on the front, you've got this 4K forward-facing camera. The rear camera records in 2K. Now, both the front and the rear camera have Sony Starvis 2 image sensors. Now, why is that important? Good question. Well, Sony Starvis 2 image sensor has a larger pixel size, so it means it can capture more information more clearly, which is really handy when you're trying to capture maybe road signs, road markings, or registration plates. And we can't forget the interior camera as well. This is the world's first full night color dash cam with in-cabin view. So it means even at night in low light, this interior camera captures a great image. Also, to ensure you capture the best images possible, the F17 Elite comes with dual channel HDR. Now, this improves dynamic range, ensures balanced exposure, and it reduces over or under exposure in challenging light. The F17 Elite has a really smooth touchscreen, so we can swipe through the different cameras here. So we've got the front-facing camera, we've got the interior, hello, and then we've got the rear-facing camera as well. Swiping across again allows you to have a mix of different cameras on display, but I normally have the screensaver timeout, so it's just a blank screen that doesn't distract me while I'm driving. Not only does it give us the option to switch through the different camera views, no, if you touch the touchscreen, you can see the options come up down here for settings. And as you go through here, you can see you've got options for the resolution, sound recording, so you can turn off the interior microphone because maybe you're on a call and you need some privacy. And then again, going through here, we've got all sorts of different options. We've got the Wi-Fi controls, we've got the startup sound, and we've got the parking mode here as well. This option will allow you to choose either G triggered, which means that it will record if the vehicle detects an impact. You've got 12-hour time-lapse, 24-hour time-lapse, or 48-hour time-lapse if you're leaving the vehicle for any length of time. And now I'm happy with what all the buttons do. I think it's time to satisfyingly peel off the screen protector. Oh, and there we go. So why do you need a dash cam? Well, look at it. The roads are busy. and accidents happen. And if the worst were to happen, you can provide the police or your insurance company with the video evidence of what happened on the day. You're not going to have to try and remember a couple of days later what happened. You're not going to have to think about drawing little sketches to prove what happened. Instead, you've got irrefutable video evidence to show what happened on that day. And so as we get back into the car, we can take a look at what footage we actually get. And what better place to start than Swindon's infamous Magic Roundabout? Now, it isn't actually that bad. It's multiple roundabouts in one. And I passed my test here. So the driving instructors always teach you to treat each roundabout as an individual roundabout and you'll be fine. But the trouble is, a lot of people in Swindon didn't pass their test in Swindon. So driving Magic Roundabout for a lot of people can be pretty scary. And also, you get a lot of people who, I swear, just close their eyes and hope for the best.
Like this Jaguar who should be turning left, but I've had to stop because he's just pulled right as if I wasn't there.
So it's not uncommon to get cut up pretty badly on this roundabout, and I've seen plenty of accidents happen. So as we've done a lap of that, we've got some crazy person in a onesie on a motorbike pulling out on me. Now, it'll be really easy to show you how good the picture quality is on a beautiful sunny day. But there's two things about that. One, this is England in October. Beautiful sunny days are a long time behind us. And secondly, I think looking at the performance of this camera in this light really helps show off the benefits of the Sony Starvis 2 sensor. Because if it's a bright sunny day, it's really easy to get great picture quality. Whereas if you're recording in slightly lower light, lower quality cameras can really struggle to pick up those details. And with the larger pixel size on the Starvis 2 sensor, it really helps capture those details, like the registration plate of this Toyota Aygo in front of us. Now, there is another benefit to having a dash cam fitted, and that is that it can actually make you a better driver. I know, but hear me out. So subconsciously, because you know that your driving is being recorded, you know that your speed is being recorded, and you've got all that information that you can pull up if you need it, it just makes you more conscious of just how you're driving. Because at the end of the day, no one wants to self-report in 4K, do they? Another challenge for cameras is multi-story car parks, because you've got this whole mix of different light sources. So you've got just dark, dingy corners, you've got artificial lights lighting the car park, and then of course you've got light flooding in from outside as well. So it can make it quite challenging for recording with a camera in a multi-story car park.
Because the F17 Elite records in dual channel HDR, it helps improve the dynamic range, ensuring balanced exposure and reducing over or underexposure in this challenging light. So as you can see, you can pick out the registration numbers, you can see all of the details. This camera has no problem recording in this environment. And even when I'm away from the car, it's protected. With the low light parking guard, the parking monitor films a time-lapse footage of what's going on around my car, so if there were anyone to bump into it, you'd see it. As well as the front and rear time-lapse recording in parking monitor mode, it also records time-lapse footage of the inside of your car. So if anyone were to break into your vehicle and attempt to steal anything, you'd have footage of what happened. And driving at night, I've got to say guys, I'm super impressed with the amount of detail this camera picks up at night. As we come up to the back of this taxi here, we can see the registration number, but we can also see the taxi ID as well. I mean, that's a small little plate in the dark, and this has captured that detail perfectly. And at the back of the car, in the dark, you'd expect us to be dazzled by the headlights of the car behind us, but no, we can clearly make out the registration number of this Mini that's getting a little bit too close for comfort. And when it's time to call it a night, parking monitor is watching over my car from the front, the inside, and the rear in case anyone bumps into it, vandalizes it, or breaks into it. Total peace of mind. Having used the F17 Elite for a little while now, I can really understand why this is Amazon's best-selling dashcam. Whether you're out for a drive, on a country road by yourself, you're out the house early to do the morning commute, maybe you're worried about your car because you park it in some pretty unsavoury places, or even just leaving it unattended at the supermarket, and you don't have to give it a second thought. The F17 Elite is there to record video evidence if the worst thing should happen, and not just to protect you from idiots in Jaguars.
Reviewing the footage couldn't be easier because there is a super handy app. So what you need to do is go to your app store, and then we're going to download the Redtiger dashcam software. So Redtiger Cam, obviously I've already downloaded this, but you can find it in the app store. We're going to select open, and then we need to connect our dashcam to our phone. To do that, we're going to go to settings, then we're going to choose Wi-Fi. We've got two options. We've got 2.4 gigahertz or 5.8 gigahertz. So we're going to choose the 5.8 gigahertz because it is 10 times faster than the slower 2.4. And with that selected, we then have to connect our phone's Wi-Fi to the dash cam here. And now with the app connected to the dash cam, we can select the dash cam and review the footage. And this will then give us access to our dash cam library. And you can see here that we've got plenty in here from our drives today. And then it lets you review the footage. You've also got the GPS map down here. And so going through the library, we've got it all time and date stamped. And once we've found the file we want to download, we go into the file, we press the download button, and as you can see, it's super fast. And there we have it. In less than 10 seconds, the video of what happened in the multi-story car park is downloaded and ready to send on to where it needs to go. And if you want to save yourself some money on Amazon's best-selling dash cam, you can using the link in the description. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Are you looking at getting a dash cam? Is that on your Christmas list? It's not long, is it? Thanks Redtiger for sponsoring this video. Guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.